Davette Baker was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She attended UW-Whitewater, where she received a BA in Women's Studies. She also holds a master's degree in mental health and has spent the last 15 years working hard for those who struggle with mental health issues. Her passion for LGBTQ issues started at a very young age while attending UW, and she has continued in her life to always uplift those who live with these identities. As a Black queer woman, she strives to remember all the identities that make her a whole, and she's excited to finally be in a position that supports and uplifts all the things that make her who she is. To quote the great Angela Davis, "I think the importance of doing activist work is precisely because it allows you to give back and to consider yourself not as a single individual who may have achieved whatever, but to be part of an ongoing historical movement." She also loves cats and grilled cheese.
Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing? I'm not going to take too much of your time, just a little bit. Okay? Just a little bit. All right, so again, my name is Davette Baker. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am so honored to be here with all of you lovely folks tonight. If you would have told me 6 months ago that I would be standing in front of you, I would have thought, yeah, no, not me. There's a little something you guys don't know about me. I'm actually an introvert. I know, it's hard to believe, as some folks are laughing who know me in this room. But it's true. I like to live in the shadows, watch and observe, take note in the background, help motivate and create change. That's how I operated for years. I educated my circle. I helped people to come to Jesus in my own way. I used my voice to uplift the voiceless in the most passive ways possible. It was comfortable and safe. And as an introvert, that's what I needed. But then the world changed, and I had to change with it. So now, you get the more visible me. The woman that is standing in front of you, who has been working hard for the past few months to make and create more change to save our democracy, so that all the folks like me and you can continue to have a voice. So I ask, are you all ready to hear what this introvert has to say? Yes! So to honor my father, who is a United Methodist preacher, I'm going to give this to you in two parts. Part one is the business, part two is the party. Kind of like a mullet. And as good preachers always have, there's a text I would like y'all to remember as we spend this little time together. And it is as follows. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Does anybody know who said that? Awesome. Who was that? Thank you, Jill. For those who don't know, I am the regional organizing lead for Dane and Rock counties for the Human Rights Campaign, or HRC. HRC works to end the discrimination against the LGBTQ people and community and realize a world that produces fairness and equality for all. Currently, HRC has over 3 million members and supporters nationwide. We have seen a growth in that membership as the attacks on our community continue to grow after the election of Donald Trump. HRC is committed to fighting against anti-equality legislations across the country, and its strength comes from folks like you who are in this room, those of you who are members and supporters, those of you who volunteer your time to fight all the evils that come our way. So I want to say thank you to all of you who have joined or spent time with us over the years. We couldn't do this work without you. So most people ask me, Davette, what the heck is your job? Well, it's a very loaded question, But I can sum it up as this. I, along with my colleagues across the state, are here to mobilize and build an army to fight the evil that continuously attacks the LGBTQ community. HRC Rising is HRC's biggest grassroots expansion in the organization's 37-year history. It is the goal of the Rising campaign to unite, enlist, and resist, like never before, to block the Trump-Pence administration who are hell-bent on dismantling equality. So there's a couple main objectives. And I'll tell you guys what they are right now. Fuel pro-equality candidates and initiatives, fight anti-legislation that is against the LGBT community, such as conversion therapy and religious freedom bills, resist the politics of hate, get people registered to vote, expand our membership and volunteer base, and mobilize the LGBTQ army to vote this year. When I started this position, someone quoted the number 10,000 LGBTQ persons did not vote in the last election. And this number baffled me for days. I couldn't for the life of me understand why someone would not vote. Were they not watching the same election I was? Did they not see what was coming? I found that my curiosity was leading me to want to figure out why and how I could be a part of something that would motivate those who didn't vote to vote, and to be a part of grassroots efforts to take back our democracy. And that eventually led me here. Since the start of the HRC Rising project here in Wisconsin, the cities of Milwaukee, Eau Claire, and Madison have banned conversion therapy. The city of Racine has added gender identity and expression to their non-discrimination ordinance, making it the fourth city in Wisconsin to do so. We have gotten over 1,000 Wisconsinites to say a resounding yes to voting for candidates in the midterm elections who support equality protections and who will support the passage of the Equality Act, a bill that is supported by our own state senator, Tammy Baldwin. Members and volunteers have participated in countless equality action trainings where they learn how to tell their own story of self in order to engage and enlist in their own communities as we fight back to take our democracy. We have endorsed pro-equality candidates, such as Mark Pocan, who is here with us tonight, as well as Tammy Baldwin, Tony Evers and Mandela Barnes, Sarah Godlewski, and Josh Call. Also, with the help of Tim Carpenter, Mark Spreitzer, and Jocasta Zabariba, who are all members of the LGBTQ caucus, they are fighting to change our own state laws that exclude protections for transgender people. There is a bill called the Privacy Protection and Gender Identity Non-Discrimination Act, which would add gender identity to the pre-existing non-discrimination protections, including employment, housing, public spaces, and education. In supporting our pro-equality candidates up and down the ballot, this means that this critical and important legislation could finally become law. Thanks. So for the past 6 months, HRC and its volunteers and members have been canvassing, phone banking, and attending events to help get out the vote. Our democracy works best when we all participate in it, and the HRC Rising campaign has certainly proved that grassroots, boots on the ground pressure is an effective way to motivate and inspire. I am proud to be one of many who have taken this position and made it their own, inspiring their communities in ways thought never possible, all while uplifting and supporting the community that's already there. There are so many battles yet to be won, and I hope we get to do it together. Okay, so now that we've gotten the business portion of my speech out of the way, now we can get to the party. Woohoo! So we're gonna revisit that quote. that I stated before. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Just last week at Outreach on National Coming Out Day, we had a phone bank. And Chad Griffin, the president of HRC, visited us. And he said, when you look back on this midterm election and say 10 years, what are you going to remember? He went on to talk about thinking about what our role was in this election and everyone after it. So that got me thinking. I can remember waking up crying when I heard that Trump was president. I remember being shocked and frankly depressed. But then I thought about how could I fight it? How could I become a leader and help show people we have the power to take this back and fight? At the time, I knew through my organizing I could do that. I could talk to people, educate them, and hope to change their minds. I knew in that moment when Chad was talking to us that all the bullshit I had to put up with getting to sitting in this room with him and the 15 volunteers that came to the home bank that night, that it was worth it. That my amazing HRC family was all worth it because we were making history together.
That's right.
So this quote has become my anthem. It's what gets me through most days. One of my mentors, Brandon Sturdivant, for whom I worked for when organizing to end mass incarceration, always had us recite it at the end of our trainings together. It reminded me that until we are all free and can live our best lives without fear of retribution, I have to fight and give others the tool and confidence to fight. As a queer Black woman, my life is constantly under attack. And even on the days I want to give up, I can't. I simply can't, and I won't. Okay? All right. We're almost home. So I would not be a good organizer if I didn't have an ask for the room. Right? Okay. First ask. Will you make sure to vote on November 6th or before for candidates who uphold and further equality's protections for all? Will you commit to signing up for one or more Get Out to Vote shifts with me and my colleague TJ to get out and talk with voters in your community? Will you have those tough conversations with family and friends about the importance of elections, and I mean all elections, and be the voice for those who cannot use their voice? Because this is how we win, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in closing, I would love it if you all could repeat this quote after me, take it, internalize it, and remember it when things get tough. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other.
We must love each other
And support each other.
and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Now, because consent is everything, please stand and look at your neighbor and ask them if it's okay to give them a hug, a high five, a fist bump, or whatever. Remember the energy in this room and let it fill you up, because November 6th, we take our democracy back. I thank you all for listening to me this evening, and don't forget to see me to sign up for your shift.